Hello, you may be wondering why we're sitting outside in February, and that's because it's 60 degrees outside, which is a perfect segue into what we're discussing today, which is sustainability and why the Earth should not be 60 degrees in February. So, let's get into it. My name is Avery, and I'm a senior at UNC, and today we are going to talk about sustainability. So if you didn't watch my last video, I am figuring out other people's passions and why they like them so much and trying to join in and see what it's like. So today we are talking to my friend Ben, who is very environmentally conscious. So I think to kind of describe Ben's passion for sustainability, I have one story that will really get it into your brain. So Ben lives in Philadelphia, and I got to visit him after my exams, and he took me to this really cute local market. It was an old warehouse, and there were a bunch of pop-up restaurants. So after we chose which restaurant to eat at, we sat down and ordered, and immediately Ben told the waitress that he didn't need silverware. And he pulled out this really nice set of bamboo cutlery, and he began eating his Mediterranean food with his wooden fork and knife, and at the end of the meal, he took it, licked it, and put it right back in the case. And I asked him when the last time he cleaned those forks and knives were, and he said, I kind of just lick it every time. So that's where we're at. That's Ben's level of conservation and sustainability. All right, let's talk to Ben.
Hi,
Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I want to start off with interviewing you about sustainability because I know that you're super passionate about the environment, and I just wanted to learn more about that. Do you mind introducing yourself first?
Yeah, so my name is Ben. I went to UNC from 2016 to 2019. Avery and I met in a Spanish 101 class that was like at 7:30 p.m. and I double majored in environmental studies and political science, and then I had a minor in geography as well. I am a community organizer here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania through a faith-based fellowship. And so with that, I organize a weekly community meal serve. So we serve about 150 people each Sunday. And then in the summer, I also organize a community garden. And then I also am part of a nonprofit called Power, which is like an advocacy lobbying organization throughout Philadelphia. And I'm on the climate justice team.
Tell me why you're so passionate about the environment.
Yeah, as I went through college, I really especially saw that the environment was not just the green space that everyone thinks it is, but the environment is really everything around us. And everything within that is tied together. And so I really saw that all the devastation that we are intentionally causing through our economic and political systems to the environment is also very damaging to ourselves as well. So that's really when I became not only very passionate about like the ecological world as we might think of it in ecosystems, but I also became really passionate about policy and politics in our entire ecosystem as well.
So, Ben, tell me, what are some of the steps that you take to be more sustainable and environmentally conscious?
Yeah, so one, I look at my food sources. I try and make sure that a lot of the food that we buy is local. In my personal life, I am vegetarian. So one reason why I'm vegetarian, it's really good for the environment. It really lowers my carbon footprint since I've given up meat and all the emissions that kind of go into the meat industry, particularly beef. It's allowed me to be environmentally sustainable, but also financially sustainable with my resources as well. And then in addition to being a vegetarian, I also compost in my community garden.
How else do you live sustainably?
So I think another component of living sustainably is looking at all the resources that we use around us. So one big thing that a lot of us use, but we don't really think about, is how much plastic we use. So we all hear about plastic straws and how we shouldn't use plastic straws. One, I think it's just good to reduce your use of straws in general. For a lot of people, straws are unnecessary. Just use a metal straw or use a paper straw. So because of that, I always carry a metal straw with me in my book bag. I also have bamboo cutlery to make sure that I'm not using any plastic utensils. I also have a reusable coffee cup because I drink a lot of coffee and I go to a lot of coffee shops. Along with that, I only use a reusable water bottle. I don't buy bottled water. I think buying water out of bottles is a classic example of environmental racism and stealing resources from communities, except for those who are not privileged enough to live in communities and environments where the water is safe to drink. For example, Flint, Michigan.
And from what I have heard, you have one more tip for us today.
Yes, I do have one more tip. So Avery actually really got me hooked on this, but I really love to thrift now. Um, and so thrifting is really good. One, because if you're going to a local thrift store, you're investing in the local economy and helping with local jobs. But as well, you are reducing your carbon footprint. The fashion industry, I think, makes up about 10% of global emissions.
Wow.
With all the emissions that come out of that, it's a very polluting industry.
You've given us a bunch of great ways to implement that immediately into our lives, which is really helpful. And from what I have heard as well, you have a blog of 15 ways that someone can be more sustainable and environmentally conscious in their lives. Is that right?
Yes, I'm really excited to share some of the tips that I've encountered in my everyday life that eventually become part of your life.
I'll definitely link that below. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for taking time tonight to talk. Bye, Ben.
Bye.
So after these past few days of being more environmentally conscious, I have to say that I really admire Ben for his passion for sustainability. It can be so easy to be passionate about something that's rewarding to you immediately. Like if you love to paint, then at the end of the day you have a canvas with a beautiful painting on it. But if we all were a little bit more passionate about the way that we consumed things, then the earth would really benefit from it. So I was so glad that I got to talk to Ben about being sustainable because I think it's so important and it's something that I definitely want to incorporate in my life too. So if you enjoyed this, please stick around and watch next week's Passion, and also make sure to check out my last vlog.